Hold on to your tea mugs, celebrity lovers, because today we need to talk about our absolute favorite Irishman, the king of the red chair, Graham Norton. If you've been scrolling through your feeds lately, you might have seen some terrifying headlines. Your heart probably skipped a beat, mine certainly did. Phrases like heartbreaking revelation and confirms the worst have been swirling around the rumor mill, leaving us all asking the same panicked question, is Graham okay? We all feel like we know him, don't we? He's the cheeky friend who gets the A-listers to spill their secrets on Friday nights. He's the voice of Eurovision who makes us laugh until our sides hurt. So when the news broke that Graham had been secretly battling a serious condition that led to a major hospital stay, the collective worry was palpable. We've done the digging to bring you the full emotional truth behind the headlines. Grab a tissue because Graham's recent confession is raw, real, and incredibly human. The heartbreaking revelation, facing mortality. The condition that has taken Graham away from his usual energetic self wasn't just a minor nip and tuck. It was a major, life-altering surgery that forced the 62-year-old star to confront his own mortality in a way he never expected. Graham recently opened up in a tear-jerking admission about the moments before he was wheeled into the operating theater for a total shoulder replacement. "I was sitting in the hospital room," Graham shared, his voice dropping the usual comedic act for a moment of pure vulnerability. "I wasn't on any drugs or anything yet, but you're in the gown, and you just feel so vulnerable. You're wearing those funny slippers. It's an image that breaks your heart, doesn't it? The man who commands the attention of Tom Cruise and Taylor Swift, sitting alone in a cold hospital room feeling small. I did feel quite emotional," he confessed. "I knew I would, but you are facing your own mortality. You just feel quite vulnerable in that moment. I was surprised I got as totes emotional as I did." This is the heartbreaking revelation that has fans rallying around him. It wasn't just the physical pain, which he described as owie and requiring many medications. It was the sudden terrifying realization that he is aging and that even the brightest stars are fragile. A friend confirms the struggles, but what about the friend confirming the worst? In true Graham fashion, the worst parts of his recovery were confirmed by his hilarious and longtime best friend, Maria Mixerlane. You know a friendship is real when they don't sugarcoat the truth. While Graham was recovering, he vanished from the public eye. He couldn't work, he couldn't move freely, and the inactivity took a toll. Maria, appearing on their podcast Whining On, confirmed that the recovery period was incredibly difficult for Graham and physically visible. "I'm so relieved," Maria joked with that brutal honesty only a bestie can get away with, "because you got so fat." Graham, laughing through the pain, admitted it was true. "I know, huge. I ballooned." While they laughed it off, it confirmed a sadder reality. Graham had been incapacitated. The worst fears of him losing his spark or his mobility were very real possibilities during those long, painful months of rehab. The old Graham, or at least, his old shoulder, was gone forever. As he put it, sadly, there was no old shoulder left. It was all just ground down. The reality of the condition. So, what is the actual condition? Years of wear and tear left Graham with a shoulder that was essentially bone on bone. The surgery involved removing the damaged joint and replacing it with a mix of plastic, porcelain, and titanium. It sounds grueling, and it was. For weeks, our beloved host was out of commission, relying on painkillers and intense physiotherapy just to lift his arm. The silence from his camp during this time is what fueled so many of the scary rumors. When you don't hear a peep from the chattiest man on TV, you assume the worst. The good news, the sparkle returns. But here is where we dry our eyes and let out a massive sigh of relief. Despite the fear, the tears in the hospital gown, and the grueling recovery, Graham is back. Recent reports from late November 2025 confirm that the surgery was a success. The pain that kept him awake at night? Gone. The fear that he wouldn't be able to stay active? Smashed. In a joyous update, Graham revealed he is back on his bike and swimming daily in the cold waters of Ireland, rather him than me. The heartbreaking chapter has closed, and a new chapter of health has begun. "I now have a young bit of me," he joked, pointing to his new bionic shoulder. "My shoulder is brand new." Why we love him more now? This health scare has done something remarkable. It's made us love Graham Norton even more. We live in a world where celebrities often pretend to be perfect, ageless robots. For Graham to come out and say, "I was scared, I cried, I felt old, I gained weight," is the most refreshing, relatable thing he could have done. It reminds us that behind the glitz, the glam, and the red chair, he's just a human being trying to navigate getting older, just like the rest of us. So, to the rumor mill spinning tales of doom and gloom, not today. The only thing terminal here is Graham's terminal inability to be boring. We love you, Graham. Keep cycling, keep swimming, and please, never stop making us laugh. What do you think? Did the headline scare you too? Are you relieved to hear Graham is on the mend? Leave your get well wishes and love for Graham in the comments below. Let's flood the internet with positivity for our favorite host.